In exploring Macbeth, the real king behind Shakespeare's tragedy, we begin with Introduction to Macbeth, Shakespeare's tragic hero and historical context. Shakespeare's Macbeth revolves around its eponymous figure, portrayed as a tragic hero. A tragic hero is a literary character who makes a judgment error that inevitably leads to their own destruction. Macbeth exemplifies this through his ambition, which drives him to murder King Duncan to ascend the throne, sparking a series of tragic events. Understanding the historical context is essential because Shakespeare's Macbeth is loosely based on real events from 11th century Scotland. The historical King Macbeth ruled Scotland from 1040 to 1057, having actually gained power through a legitimate claim and reigning for over a decade. Unlike Shakespeare's character, the historical Macbeth was considered a relatively effective ruler before being overthrown by Malcolm Canmore, Duncan's son. The significance of differentiating between the fictional tragic hero and the historical figure lies in recognizing Shakespeare's artistic license. His portrayal reflects themes of ambition, power, and guilt, universally resonant and timeless, while also serving as political commentary. For example, the play was written during King James I's reign, who was believed to be a descendant of Banquo, a character depicted positively against Macbeth's tyranny. This served to flatter the reigning monarch, aligning the play's moral trajectory with the political climate. In real-world applications, the notion of a tragic hero is prevalent beyond literature. Consider modern political figures who face downfall due to overreaching ambition, echoing Macbeth's fatal flaw. In business, leaders whose unethical decisions in pursuit of success meet ruin draw parallels to Macbeth's journey. Several opinions highlight the play's exploration of moral integrity and the consequences of unchecked ambitions. Scholar Harold Bloom emphasized the psychological depth of Macbeth's character, which allows audiences to ponder the complexities of human nature. Conversely, some critics argue that Shakespeare's portrayal propagates historical inaccuracies, overshadowing the real Macbeth's legacy. These controversies challenge the intersection of art and history, questioning the ethics of dramatizing real figures to serve narrative ends. This introduction connects to broader themes within the topic, such as the contrast between historical reality and literary fiction. It underscores the enduring influence of Shakespeare's narratives on perceptions of historical figures, shaping cultural memory and discourse. By examining how Shakespeare crafted Macbeth as a tragic hero within a specific context, we gain insight into the play's enduring legacy and its pervasive impact on storytelling. The real Macbeth, known historically as Macbeth of Scotland, reigned as King of Scots from 1040 to 1057. Unlike the tyrannical figure depicted in Shakespeare's tragedy, the historical Macbeth was a complex and capable ruler. He ascended to the throne after defeating Duncan I, a more historically accurate depiction of a power struggle than the play's narrative of murder and ambition. This distinction is significant because it grounds the story of Macbeth in historical fact, offering a richer understanding of the interplay between reality and dramatized fiction. Recognizing the historical Macbeth allows for a deeper appreciation of how Shakespeare transformed historical events into a gripping narrative, raising questions about the nature of power and legitimacy. A real-world application of this point can be seen in how historians and literary scholars analyze Shakespeare's sources, such as the Chronicles of Holinshed, which provided the raw material for many of his plays. By examining these sources, scholars can distinguish between historical fact and dramatic embellishment, enhancing our understanding of both history and literature. Another example lies in the educational sphere, where teachers use the contrast between the real Macbeth and Shakespeare's character to illustrate the ways historical narratives are adapted into creative works, encouraging students to think critically about the historical context of literature. Opinions supporting this idea often emphasize the importance of historical accuracy and context when evaluating works of fiction based on real events. Many argue that understanding the true story behind Macbeth enriches our appreciation of Shakespeare's craft in manipulating historical events to explore universal themes of ambition, power, and morality. However, challenges arise in dissecting the blurred lines between fact and fiction. Some contend that Shakespeare's alterations serve a dramatic purpose and should not detract from the play's artistic merit. Others suggest that the romanticized and villainized portrayal of Macbeth contributes to misconceptions about Scottish history and historical figures' complex motivations. The exploration of the real Macbeth inevitably influences our perception of Shakespeare's work, prompting audiences to consider how the playwright's artistic license reflects broader societal and political themes. By examining the real king behind the tragedy, one uncovers layers of historical and cultural context that enrich the narrative, highlighting the timeless relevance of Shakespeare's exploration of human nature. Understanding the historical Macbeth thus becomes a gateway to deeper insights into Shakespeare's dramatic intentions and the enduring power of his storytelling. The heading, Historical and Cultural Differences Between Shakespeare's Macbeth and the Real King, invites us to delve into the contrasts between the fictional portrayal of Macbeth in Shakespeare's tragedy and the historical figure who inspired it. Shakespeare's Macbeth, written in the early 17th century, is a compelling drama steeped in themes of ambition, power, and morality. However, the historical Macbeth, who ruled Scotland from 1040 to 1057, was a notably different character. In Shakespeare's play, Macbeth is depicted as a tyrant whose lust for power leads to madness and disaster. This portrayal significantly deviates from historical accounts where King Macbeth was considered a relatively stable and effective ruler. This distinction is significant because it underscores how dramatic narratives can shape or distort historical figures to fit thematic purposes, reflecting and reinforcing cultural anxieties of the time, such as the fear of regicide and the divine right of kings, a concept prevalent during Shakespeare's era. A powerful example illustrating these differences is Macbeth's path to the throne. Shakespeare dramatizes his rise as a bloody coup marked by betrayal and murder. In contrast, historical records such as the Scottish Chronicles suggest that Macbeth came to power in a more lawful manner, defeating the then King Duncan in battle, which was not uncommon in the turbulent political landscape of medieval Scotland. Another example is Lady Macbeth's potent influence in the play, which has no historical counterpart but serves as a dramatic device to explore themes of ambition and guilt. Opinions supporting the significant differences highlight how Shakespeare's alterations reflect the Elizabethan worldview, using historical figures to explore universal themes while captivating audiences with heightened drama. Nevertheless, this approach presents challenges. Critics argue it blurs the line between fiction and reality, potentially misleading audiences about historical events. Alternative viewpoints suggest that these differences highlight the malleability of historical narratives, illustrating how facts can be adapted to fit new cultural contexts or artistic visions. This view also invites discussion about the role of creative license in portraying historical events. The examination of these differences influences our understanding of Macbeth within the broader context of literary studies, challenging us to consider how history is interpreted and reimagined through literature. It also connects to the themes of power and morality central to the play, prompting reflection on how societal values influence storytelling and how stories, in turn, shape cultural memory. Shakespeare's play, Macbeth, is heavily influenced by historical sources, notably Holinshed's Chronicles, a comprehensive history of Britain published in the 16th century. Holinshed's Chronicles provided Shakespeare with a historical framework, serving as both an inspiration and a guide for creating the dramatic narrative of Macbeth. The Chronicles offer accounts of the real King Macbeth, who ruled Scotland from 1040 to 1057, and his interactions with King Duncan, though Shakespeare takes creative liberties, dramatizing and altering events for theatrical effect. The significance of Holinshed's Chronicles in relation to Macbeth lies in its dual role as a foundation of historical reference and a narrative base for artistic innovation. This highlights the interplay between history and literature, where factual events are reshaped to explore themes of ambition, power, and morality. By grounding his work in recognizable historical events, Shakespeare lends his tragedy an air of authenticity while simultaneously exploring universal human experiences. For instance, the real Macbeth, unlike his Shakespearean counterpart, was considered a successful ruler, maintaining peace during his reign. However, Shakespeare crafts him as a tragic figure consumed by ambition, illustrating the timeless struggle between ethical integrity and the lust for power. Another example includes the depiction of the witches. While Holinshed does mention such figures, Shakespeare amplifies their role, using them to symbolize fate and the supernatural's influence on human destiny. Opinions on Shakespeare's use of Holinshed often acknowledge his genius in transforming historical narratives into compelling drama. Critics note that though Shakespeare alters historical details, he captures the essence of the character's psychological and moral conflicts, making them resonate deeply with audiences. However, This blending of fact and fiction invites challenges and controversies. Some argue that Shakespeare's portrayal distorts historical reality, presenting a one-dimensional view of Macbeth as a tyrant. Others suggest that the play reflects contemporary concerns, such as the fear of political instability, more than it recounts history accurately. In examining Shakespeare's sources, we recognize how the historical accounts provided by Holinshed and others significantly shape character motivations and plot developments in Macbeth. These influences underscore the thematic exploration of power dynamics, legitimacy, and human frailty, connecting the play to broader historical contexts and philosophical inquiries. Ultimately, Holinshed's chronicles function not only as a historical source, but as a springboard for Shakespeare's imaginative exploration of timeless human dilemmas, challenging audiences to consider the complexities of ambition and morality.